Hey guys, how's it going? We are about 9:30 in the morning, or 6:30 Pacific. I'm out in California here, and it looks like trains are running, so this is really cool. Very nice. So yeah, I'm on Southwest Rails today. I got some time this morning, so I want to run some trains. I miss this place. So for those of you wondering how to find a train, I mean, that all I did was see the little dots. I just clicked on that, went to see what he was doing. Looks like lots of traffic. Oh my god. Oh, that looks cool. That reminds me. I want to run out of... I kind of want to run... I like single player, but or sorry, single track. But do I want to run somewhere on Needles? Needles is very inviting. It looks, I don't want to get around here. Maybe there. Yeah, maybe here. See if I can find him. I don't know. How about a little closer? Or do I want to run Cajon? Oh, what was this building? Hold on. What's this guy? What's this guy? Is he going the right way? I think he might be. So he's just taken off, but I'm going to tone the dispatcher if I can remember what the codes are. 65 star 14, channel 65 star 14. So this is how you hijack. I showed you this the other night, but my microphone sucked. But he's just an AI train. He can be parked or whatever. You can just go over to his radio. Don't play with his buttons. I was kind of hoping for one of the new engines, but that's okay. What was the channel 65 star 14? I don't know if they're using those channels or not, but I'm going to try. There we go. Star 14. I want this one. It's a bare table train. I don't care. He may be running channel 0 all the way, I'm not sure. You just be patient, you wait and see. He'll come across on 0 if he's on 0. He's on 0. Okay. So then I go channel 0. See that 0? That means that's the oh, channel 0. There we go. So you wait and see. If he says yes, then you can go ahead and this is what I like about 24/7, especially with a dispatcher. I mean, that's kind of a bonus. There's only one client on, but that is a pretty full look and field. Oh. I didn't do that. You came to a complete stop. Just want to make sure. Awesome. Okay. So because I don't know the speed limits too well, it's been a while since I've run, I just go shift Z until I see this thing. It says previous signal stop, but I saw it clear, or advanced, or some silly thing. So I got a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit at the moment. I picked the right time of day too. This is... Actually, I thought it was going to be darker, but I didn't get it on it quick enough. Check what my train was. Oh, I'm going to Seattle. I'm heading up the other way. That's okay. I don't know how far I'll make it, but we'll see. Los Angeles to Seattle. Nice. Now from here on in, I've already seen the dispatch board where pretty much, you know, whatever comes my way comes my way. I'm just part of their system now. But what's different about this than for me, what 24/7 used to be like, is with one client on, you know, what are you going to get? You're not going to get much, and even my server is fairly dead. I mean, with 7 trains, it's like, but that's what the prototype is supposedly at. That's what I run. I don't mind, but I miss the very high traffic. And you can float around and find. I wish they had a little list of trains when they not the server's perfectly fine the way it's set up. I wish Run8 had a list of trains similar to that F2 thingamajig. Like this is. I'm not gonna go into showing passwords or anything. So looks like it's just me. In Bear 55, remember if I've run the Shadows in California. Yeah, I have. I must have. This is a good Shift Z right up there. It tells you everything you need to know as far as the speeds and everything. Stuff for cargo over here. I haven't done any. I haven't really done any switching yet, but at Selkirk. But I definitely miss running California. I don't miss the stress. But this ain't stressful. This is fun. Oh, I forget all the names. I forget all the names of the different areas. It's been so long. Ah. I saw a bear at the switch over there. So he's working the intermodal facility here. And dispatching the entire territory. Put the cruise control on here if it works. There we go. If it doesn't work, then you just let off the throttle a bit. Yeah, it's a nice time of day to come out. Somebody had posted a reply to one of my videos last night, and basically it was a flat out criticism. Actually, he posted on the Wikia, which was kind of interesting. It wasn't on the YouTube. Basically, it was to my wall, but my wall is on the Wikia. It is just, as far as I know, everybody can see it. There's no private sending of stuff, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but somebody could perhaps confirm that for me, not admin. But said, why are all your videos at night or something like that? Or, you know, they basically suck because you can't see anything. And I said, well, we run 24/7. And I think it's just, it was kind of interesting. He did it on the Wikia, so. What I like about the 24/7 is the day keeps going on. So if you want to run at night, you got to get in at a certain time. You want to run day. I mean, there's pros and cons in that, but the railroad keeps moving, or it doesn't always keep moving. I mean, you need dispatchers, and their concept's really cool. It's somewhat similar to California, except they got more dispatchers somehow, and a little bit of less traffic, which I'm okay for. I'll take it better than nothing. So hopefully this helps people check this out. They got dispatchers. Yeah, that dispatcher is like Monday. Okay, here we go. Now we got some names. I forgot about that. me hitting that alt thing and it does that. Now I had no idea I was crossing other than the approach, the approach diverging that I had before that I didn't call. But I couldn't remember what was the distance to it, or what there was distance for. So I plan on going for a long walk this afternoon, but. I knew Monday's not a holiday for the United States, and I thought, you know, it is for me, and I'm not doing anything other than, yeah, yesterday, man, barely got out of the house. So I forget if we stay 30 here or not, but I haven't seen any speed changes, so I'll just go 30, but I'm gonna. What I'll do is I put the counter on just to remind me once I am past here. I didn't see a speed sign, so I think it's 30 for a while. You might be wondering why I don't run on my server, where I just let the AI go. I tend to have to do too much stuff. Checking out of things, you know, seeing if things are right. I could, but if I was to do anything, it would actually be yard work. So I kind of keep myself open for that, but I actually have, right now, Jerry, he's been doing a lot of the yard stuff. So I just, for now, I just tag along. Thinking about increasing the amount of time with the yards. We'll see how it goes this time. I'm going to be relaxing. I don't want to talk about my server while I'm on somebody else's, but I want to enjoy this. I figure I would. I can talk about anything, really. No matter. It's on my channel, not my server. But. Oh, okay, here we go. Here's a speed sign here. I can never see it very well from my. Oh, yeah, 55. Oh, I think am I 70? I forget. I forgot about the hill here too. So I let go of the speed control. I should have kept it on. I was losing some speed. I always enjoyed taking a train out of this side. Now the bonus is I'll get onto single track going across the desert, so that's okay. I was thinking I'll just take a train to Needles, but you gotta check out the symbols and where they go. So that was my bad. That's okay. I don't have too much time. I won't be going too long today, so. I should load up the California maps here. It's been a while. This is so I don't refer to the F3, because if I refer to the F3, I can still see where trains are, and I'll know, or I'll have a pretty good idea what's going on, and I don't want to spoil it. Where is it? Oh, Cajon. There we go. Alright, so we're somewhere. No, we're going the other way. Past baseline. Counter's about to end, so that speed will change as soon as the counter goes. There we go, we're at 55. Okay. Do I have the alerter to come on? I haven't seen that yet. I forget which option that is. Ah, well. I forgot I don't get a conductor when I'm not on my own server. Goofy colors again when I do that. Coming up to 78, which is should have a yellow on the left unless there's a train in that block. Yep. Okay. Ah, there's the alerter. Used it so long I forget what it is. Do a run by of this train. Not a colorful train, just your basic bare table train, but hopefully we'll see some interesting traffic. Now the traffic is, some of you, especially if you're used to my server, it feels a lot like eye candy because it's just going by you. It's almost as interesting as some of these cars going by. What for me makes the traffic interesting is when they get into, you know, there's your different meets and stuff like that. That's what for me makes it more interesting. And there, I'll do a run by. Oh crap! I wanted to see the signal. That wasn't a good one. I wanted to get it by the signal so I could see what was going on, just in case that light all of a sudden changed. But that's okay. Now there's ways of finding out when you're gonna come up to a train too. The next signal, I'll get it into my conductor's view. I'll look out the back window and see if anything's lit. If it's lit, then you know eventually something's lined up. But it could be streaked or bleeded. But I'm gonna get up for a minute, get a drink, let this baby roll. Hit the alerter once. Be right back. So I saw the beep there. That caught my attention, or heard the beep, not seen it. All the trains that spawn on this server are by a schedule. Which is why he has to go in, and it tells you what the trains are, which is really cool. But he has to go in and physically set it up. I don't mind doing that, and I may start doing that again on my server. I kind of enjoy just... I mean, there's a couple of ways I could do it. I could use the AI spawner thingamajig and manually do it. I'm not a big fan of letting them decide it. We had, like... Was it last night? I had 2 passenger trains suddenly spawn late evening out of Buffalo at Syracuse, 10 minutes apart from each other. I still haven't had an auto rack train, although there's not that many of them. So as long as I don't have to do too much work in between sessions, I may just go back to it, but I'm gonna let it go for just right now, because again, it's kind of eye candy. And then maybe I'll let it go for 24 hours and see what happens. My focus is to make sure that the locals are working. So far, we seem to have at least one local train. It's not going to be much switching involved in that train, though. Did I forget to check? 77. If I can make it to Mojave. Hey, there's a train. Barely see it. Sorry, alerter. Kind of disappears on the horizon. I didn't get to see the power, but this is what I love about this route is you got the UP nearby and definitely miss that. For me, though, it was a stress thing, and there's times, you know, if I feel, you know, at some point I may just want to come back to California and do this more often. I know the times of the day, or the night times were difficult for me as well. I think they do run on Mondays, so right now I'm running Monday evening, Wednesday evening sessions, and an optional Sunday. I don't think they're running on weekends. I don't do much on weekends. Maybe Sunday evening, that's about it. Okay, so what I want to do... Whoops. That's what I want. I want to Check and see if we got a signal line the other way. So this is all I'm going on. I had no idea that train was there, coming. So it's those little surprises out of my eye. Whoops. And yeah, we got a fleet or something. So I will definitely post both a positive review on my forum as well as the what do you call it? I can't even think of the server name. I've lost it. Sorry guys. I'm on a cool server, that's all I can say. Now I know Run8V2 does their thing. I'm not going to get into the whole issues I've had, politics, whatever. I mean, to me, that's in the past. But for me, let me preface that. Let me go even further back, just to show that this isn't a bias thing going on. I've said this a few times. Tom runs things totally different, and it works for him. You know, everything that he does, it works for him and the group of guys that he's got. He loves to have the 24/7 availability so that people from around the world. Now, I barely, and I do mean barely, have anybody on my server right now. And that one person that comes on, he's from I believe England. I know he's somewhere overseas in Europe, I believe. I believe he's from England, because he would always ask, you know, as far as Greenwich or whatever. And Jerry is, you know, RTS member, and he's retired, so he has the availability to come on. I joked with him last night. I was saying, you want to run another 4 hours? Because I was ready to do it. I would much rather be running than doing research like I did towards the end of last night. Kept me up or whatever, but so, you know, I was doing my thing, and what was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, never mind. So he comes on. It's really late for him. I mean, it is close to midnight, if not midnight, by the time he comes on to the server. He's there till 4 a.m. So we run a 4-hour session. We click off another 4 hours, and he is my main guy for running locals. Of course, there's opportunity for others. It's not that you know, it's exclusive. If there's others that are looking for those opportunities, I'm not posting jobs so much right now. I did offer Jerry the job for this evening because he was running it, so I'll give a favoritism to somebody who has been running a particular train. I'll always, you know, basically say, you know, do you want to continue it tomorrow night? Because I think that's fair, because I can assign that. But it's certainly, you know, we want to be open to everybody. And I felt bad for Digi because he came on a little bit late to the bidding process, but there was nothing. And I certainly, when he's available, I certainly want him to be able to participate and enjoy as well. But I was talking about, I was going to mention about Tom's server. The thing with what he's got.
SF detector milepost 73.5 main 2 ambient temperature 61 degrees.
What Tom has going works great for him, but for me personally, if I'm on a server, I want to know that there's a dispatcher, and the way his territory is, it's not favorable to see very much action. So it's very similar to running single player. I understood the way things were. Now that's going to change with the expansions, but I thought, maybe I'll do that as opposed to Selkirk, and there's a side of me that kind of wishes I did. And it's not to compete with Tom, but the funny thing was, I decided no, I'll keep going with Selkirk, and I'll keep on chugging away at that. So there's a red signal here, which means there's somebody else coming, I think. So I was chug away at Selkirk and see how it goes. See, I saw the red signal on the left track, and that's an intermediate. That usually means somebody's coming. I think I see something. Tags in the way. But for me, I can't run without some kind of interaction. Even on my server, there's, if you were to run a main line, and I don't on mine, but if I was, you would see an interaction probably once. 7 trains sounds like you're only going to see 3, but you actually see a little bit more than that, usually, if all goes well. Not guaranteed, but... pretty sure that signal on the left was red. Well, maybe since I'm in the right track, I'm overtaking a freight or something. That's possible too. But I don't see... oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, I see somebody coming down now. There we go. So this, for me, is more than just eye candy. This is, this makes it interesting. California, despite the lack of scenery or whatever, this is a very beautiful route. Make no mistake about it. Who's entering? Ah, he's going to the intermodal train. See the SBI tags? So the last, I would say, 12 hours or so, I've been really, other than sleeping, I've been really thinking about the whole getting back to programming RTS again. But we'll have to see. If I was going to do programming, this would have been the weekend to do it, and I really haven't. But I do have some time next Monday, which I could be going back on this server again, to be honest. Spotting a grain train. So I wanted to mention Tom's server only because that leads me to a place like Run8 Depot. Now there are other 24/7 servers out there. I don't know. I imagine daytime, evening. There's a lot of trains, but I really don't know if they have a system. Somebody told me one time that what they have is very similar to RTS version, or sorry, yeah, RTS version 1.
3.5 main 1 ambient temperature 1 degrees.
That sometimes they'll spawn a bunch of AI, and then other times they just won't do anything. They'll just run, anarchy, and there'll be a few people around, and that's about it. Here, this server does something that I agree with, and that is if you don't have a dispatcher, don't run. I think it goes into anarchy, or does it? I'm not sure. The way it used to go is it would give you enough to get through to switches and run your locals, but I took a different approach to it though, once, especially once California went down through RTS. And Mike wanted to rethink things. I like what he's got so far. This is really cool.
6.5 main 1 ambient temperature 1 degrees.
This is very cool, actually. I would highly recommend anybody who wants to get some try, especially Monday to Friday during the week. I mean, there's a lot of people who are, either retired or they have time or they work night shifts. Perfect place. Really is. I don't know what Run8V2 has during the week. I honestly, I don't know what Run8V2 has or does at this point, so I can't say. But to me, there's a lot of servers that are out there, and don't get me wrong, I don't have the time to go on a lot of them anyways, but had this not been around, I'd be shopping for a server today. I'd be looking to see what was available, knowing that I had extra time in the morning. I'd be like, okay, is this running? And I'm doing my own thing tonight, but I'm going to be relaxing for the most part. I'll be doing my, my thing, trying to figure out how the locals are running, dispatching what little dispatching I am going to be doing, because it's not very challenging to dispatch Mohawk. It really is not. Anybody, eventually I'll open it up. The thing is, if I open it up, then, I'm basically going to be running trains, and I running trains with traffic is, yeah, but running on Selkirk, it would get tiresome for me to run that after a while. Just because there's not as much interaction. You get a lot of clears, you get a lot of... there is a little bit of interaction around Selkirk. There's a little bottleneck up just west where the Hudson line comes into play. There is the potential of overtakes, but right now the way the traffic is set up, I think the traffic is set up with too high of an HBT value, which really makes me consider scheduling everything. But not only scheduling everything, building everything. Scott Martin sent me an email last night. For those of you who remember Scott, his computer's kind of got a little goofy, and he's been still doing his single player things, and he's doing well. But he emailed me a list of stuff that he's using. He was using the Northeast, and his minimum HBTs are generally 0.9 and 1.1. So we got another coal train. And as far as I know, all these trains are spawned not just for... You're wondering if they get spawned at certain times or whatever. I don't know for sure. I don't know. But from what I understand, they are running a schedule. There's a lot of territory here. And if it expands, which it's supposed to, then I don't know how one dispatcher is going to run the whole territory and still, somebody's going to be able to do all this. I used to like it, I'd almost like a little bit in between, and then these territories are getting so huge. I always liked running with at least one other person. Not that I don't like dispatching by myself. I do. It's actually very relaxing and enjoyable to dispatch by yourself. I was gonna go F3, but I don't want to cheat myself. But you saw when I first came in, the Needles was packed. And what is that up there? Is that UP? Is that on UP? No. There's another one coming behind him. Another intermodal train. Who's that train? He's going. Wow, that's a lot of intermodal traffic coming into San Bernardino. That was another thing that stressed me out. San Bernardino is very small in comparison to handle the real level of traffic, but they got two of them. And that's the thing, when you have so much traffic, then somebody has to deal with it. Now, Bear's in there right now. I'm not too sure if it's the same Bear that we used to have on ours. It could be. I don't know. He's got a different name, so I'm not too sure. I assume he might be. Which is great if he's, if he's happy and everything's cool, and he's got the word Bear in his name. I'll just call him Bear. I don't know. But if it is, that's great. I'm glad things are working out. Ask. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't think it is. There's a common name, and he had KC in his name too, so I don't think it's the same. He doesn't sign his names like the old Bear used to. I mean, I'm gonna call him Bear just because I don't know who he is, but he's got Kansas City's near with Mike, so I guess maybe Mike found somebody who wants to dispatch, so that's awesome. I was trying to do it. I went on the old Train Dispatcher 3 forums, and I said, there's opportunity to dispatch an area. You know how many people are looking to dispatch model railroad clubs? I mean, come on. This is going to give you all the traffic. And what we really need, and I don't know if Run8 Depot's able to do it, but you've got that whole time frame. I mean, I got guys who run who are Australia, New Zealand. You've got a whole group around the world that are looking for particular opportunities. It might not be as heavy as a pool, but there are people out there. I'm at a reduction to 35. Gotta pay attention to that more. Haven't seen another UP train in a bit. A lot of beauty in this route too. There really is. I mean, I know I say, Selkirk Mohawk is the best looking route as far as scenery goes, and I still think it is. It's just when you haven't been on here for a while, and I mean, the mountains and everything like that, it has its own beauty to it as well. Deserts are deserts. You can't put a bunch of trees and flash forests and all that other stuff. Florida's another one that has a lot of beauty to it as well. Hopefully we got more routes coming though. I know that thins the herd a bit, but it's kind of a. I hope you guys don't mind me commenting on this. Crazy, but that's what I kind of like to do. I'm talking every second. Having the when you have the, it's kind of a mix between not having enough humans to run the yards and the opposite, where there's not enough humans to run dispatching, and then you don't have enough opportunities. So humans play a huge role in multiplayer, and to make a system like this work. Having a dispatch like this. Ooh, looks like I'm moving over. Where am I? 67? I gotta find out exactly where I am. So it's going to be, I would think, the approach to Cajon. I forget how I worded this approach. They call that advanced approach, huh? I don't want to hit Shift F3 because that. Yeah, I used to like Shift F3 because you can actually see, but now it goes in between. I used to like the signal chart.
BNSF detector milepost 66.5 main 2 ambient temperature 62 degrees.
So yeah, I was talking about the thinning out. When you create more routes, you do run the risk of thinning out the herd, but you also have the opportunity of bringing more people in. I would just like to see a few smaller routes that don't necessarily have continuous expansion. I like the idea of having, a whole network either, and then you just run an area network of servers. I don't think you're ever going to see that for Run8. As much as I love Run8, I thought you would, but without having user created content and the ability to interconnect these into a real, they talk about the train sim world on their website. I don't know what the hell that means, but when I first seen it, there was a Google search or something, and you see Run8 it said the train sim world or something, and it's in their tagline. I thought, oh, that's interesting, but it's certainly three of the more interesting parts of North America. Florida comes the closest, but with the expansion coming to Waycross, suddenly that just changes everything, because now the funnel becomes a much bigger entity, especially with Waycross being the hump that basically controls all the southeast. So that's going to be, you know, I haven't been on Florida in a while, and I'd like to say, yeah, when it comes out, I'm gonna buy it. If it's a free upgrade, obviously I'm gonna get it, but it's not gonna be. I can't see it being a free upgrade, not with all that much work. We know California's not gonna be free, so I highly doubt that's happening. But I don't get to run on other servers that often, and to just do it for single player, like, out of curiosity, yeah. But I could do what little time I do have. I could just basically look for YouTube video and wait and see, and then suddenly, well, there it is. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll watch this for a bit while I, you know, have supper, you know. I don't have to run it, I just have to go on to somebody's YouTube, find it, and say, hey, well, this is it. If anything, I may be, as much as I want to support the guy, you know, I want to support, you know, Florida, and I can see doing California just because the odd time I'll be here, but I don't know about Florida. Florida could really use a 24/7 type server. No, I shouldn't. Not in the way I just said it, but I'm talking about something where there's a dispatcher, or you know dispatchers are going to be on at certain times. That to me is so important to know. And I tried. I before AI, I was trying to get this more organized. To try to get dispatchers to post ahead of time and plan. You get so much. I knew I had time this morning for probably a good few, you know, week or so. So had there been a session too today, I would be, and there wasn't. But had there been a session someplace, I might have been interesting to do that. But right now, there's no sessions on that board. Merge clear. Come home, expel. Okay, so I'm back to left hand running up here. Now I could go into the back of the train and look out, but that's not realistic. We all know that. I like to keep it real. Kind of rail fan real. See if I can get this right. I have a tree in the way. Right here.
BNSF
another one up ahead. Not too far away. Coming up to 63. Sunny out. Clouds up. I had a laugh at the comment though today. It was no offense, but he was saying, you know, hey, it sucks. You can't see anything. That's reality. This is my train, right? Especially with a moonlight, it wasn't that bad. See it when you should see it when there is no moon. Then it gets real fun. And the being in the caboose, that was kind of dark. I don't even know which video he was commenting to be quite honest. If it was the most recent, I imagine. But I run the 24. I'm on the longest days of the year on purpose right now to make it as inviting and familiar as possible. Of course, at some point I'm going to be into the shortest days of the year, but that's going to be, by the time we get there, that's going to be a very long time. But I saw a train over there that was just the... Well, that's just me, I think. Is that me going around a horse? I guess it is me. I don't know. Should be me. There's the other line right there. Who knows? I think it's just a horseshoe back there or something. No, maybe it wasn't. Another bare table going the other way. Oh no. I heard somebody at 58, but I don't know if he would be here by now. No, there's something. I think there's something up ahead. My vision's probably not good as what you're seeing because I'm way the hell back from my TV. That must have been one going by because we're coming up to 62, 61. The detector went off at 58, so I missed him. No big deal. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you... Unless I'm following somebody. I doubt that.
BNSS detector milepost 58.
No!
No defects. Repeat, no defects.
There's two of them.
Temperature 0. Train speed degree 9 mph. Ambient temperature 6.2 degrees. Out.
Interesting. Okay. Sounds like two of them, and I I don't think I was one of them. No. I doubt that. Sound in the distance up at the... like, two of them are up ahead. Like flashing yellow on the one UP there, but I couldn't tell. Hold on a second, I gotta answer my phone. Hello. Oh, so Daddy's going to the rescue. Okay. That just changes my whole day. Well, hopefully I can get the kiddo to do some, go for a walk with me. Really, I'm hoping. Because I really need to get out of the house, and I was hoping to get out of the house today. So I'm going to be cut short. Let me see here. So this is what you do with the dispatcher. I have to get out of here by 10 after. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. What are we at? We're channel 65. Star 14, I think. Okay. think I have to go to 65. Oh, it works on 0. Okay. Forgot about that. So I'm going to be done in about 15 minutes. Or not quite. 25. 25 minutes. So hopefully we get more. I was hoping to get a little bit more Cajon sub. Yeah, it sucks. We got up earlier. Not stay up so late. I kind of figured that might happen today. I just had a weird feeling. But that's okay. He is priority number 1. Going into Martinez. Okay. So yeah, I was definitely hoping to run more, but what can you do? So I got my little multiplayer in. So who knows? Maybe he'll want to run this. I doubt it. Love these shots of them coming out of the tunnels. Martinez, what are we at? We're coming up to 58. Reduction 25 coming up. Let me see where we're at. Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, whatever helps the dispatcher, you're always, you don't want to stall traffic. So even if it's earlier, then you tell them what time you want to go. That's not so much of a deal on my server for the most part. But it's always nice that a dispatcher knows ahead of time your plan, because he's planning well in advance, right? And he'll just take it over to AI and that actually will work out pretty good. have missed some traffic, hard to say. So I will be back on tonight at 7 o'clock regardless. I'm dropping him off at 6 p.m. So he knows what's going on there. I forgot he's doing soccer this year still. The reason why I forgot is I didn't pay for it. Hey, there's a cloud. I missed that. Yeah, I was hoping to run more. I was kind of trying to negotiate, but they want to leave at 11:30 and go do something. So I'm stuck feeding him breakfast, and then supper I'll have to decide. See if he wants a couple pizza slices for if he likes cold pizza. You can have my cold pizza. I'll go back to sandwiches. Today's Monday. Oh, I see him tomorrow too. And we eat pizza on Tuesdays usually. I'll see. Well, that's cool because we got a lot of wrestling to catch up on. So I don't think he's gonna want to go too much for exercise today. I kind of doubt that. I don't know when I gotta go work. I gotta get back to work tomorrow, so I'm not gonna get any exercise. I'll try to convince him, but I don't think it's gonna work. He's not feeling too well apparently either. Well, at least I got out for a little of a walk last night. I'm following somebody by the sounds of it now. Try to convince him to do a short walk with me before lunch. So Dad needs the exercise. Doesn't have to be a long walk, but what the hell's that signal again? He'll tell me what it is, but I think it's approach slow, but I don't know what they call that. Approach medium. Okay. Whoops. I gotta get control of my train here. Love the shadows of this time of day too. little shorter than I expected. What I was originally planning on doing was grabbing lunch. Oh, here we got somebody. He on the hot track? Yes, he is. Very nice. Lots of intermodal. Holy crap. Ah, finally somebody going to Los Angeles. So they got a very nice flow of traffic. I've seen, I don't know, several trains moved over a few times. Would have liked to have gone further and see what happened out in the desert, but that's okay. 2 miles to go still. To make sure I still knew how to run a train. Now I'm starting to go downhill. looks like I have somebody overtaking me. Just take a look. Just out of curiosity. If anybody's nearby. I was going to do a run by, but I don't think I'll wait for that long. Okay, back to neutral, full independence. I don't have auto on, but it doesn't need it. So, just... Oh, I heard a detector behind me. He's not too far away. And then click it on again, an AI recrew. Green light, you should be coming around. I think I have enough time to do a run by. There he comes. Out of the way for a hot shot. Oh, he's a good one. Chicago. He might have came from was he San Bernardino? I couldn't remember. Or was he LA? No, Los Angeles. So that's cool. Very nice. Well, they got a very good setup. I encourage you guys, if you're looking for in the middle of the day, Monday to Friday, they got a dispatcher going, so this is the place to be. For California. Very competent dispatcher, I must say. Had a good run, so like the traffic was moving nice and steady, so the light going the other way, so awesome. Very nice. Okay, so I'll just exit right out of the simulation and call it that. So that's it for now, guys. I'll be back just before 7 p.m. tonight. And yeah, we'll see you then. Have yourself a good afternoon. And yeah, we'll be back with Selkirk this evening. Be on before 7 p.m. sometime. Dropping my kiddo off at 6. So I got to get running. So have a good one, guys. See ya.